Welcome to Omnibus Fridays, episode 7. This one being on The Punisher Marvel Knights by Garth Ennis Omnibus. A book that is a book that's out of print, unfortunately, and I feel like this should come back in print because I remember really enjoying this book. I haven't finished it. I read the first, I want to say 6 issues a while ago, and even then I did find it kind of slow, but I still liked it. It's Garth and Steve Dillon, the same creative team behind Preacher, which is my favorite comic of all time. So in turn, I would say that Garth Ennis is probably my favorite author. It's just one of those things where I can only think of a few series I've read by him, but I haven't read anything by him I didn't like. So no, actually, I've read a pretty good amount. I've read some of his Battlefield spin-off. It was technically a Battlefield's book. I forget what it was called, but it wasn't actually Battlefields. It was the same publisher that publishes that series. And I read some of this. I read some of his Punisher Max, which I do have the Punisher Max Omnibus Volume 2. And that's gonna be very awkward because I don't have Volume 1. Volume 1 I have in complete collections. So it's gonna look really weird. They don't have Volume 1. A lot of these books, I just decided I kind of had like a thing where I'd be like, well, let's get the first two, because I had like for Punisher Max, the longest time I had the first complete collection, but I never finished off the series because it was out of print. Then Volume 2 came back into print. I got that for Christmas along with the Punisher Max Omnibus. Then I got Volume 5 complete collection a while later, and then I got the rest on the Kindle. And I gotta get this guy plugged in. That's my iPad. That's my iPad. That's my laptop charger. No, it's my iPad charger. Here we go. So I've had this omnibus for a long time. In fact, this was one of the first omnibuses I ever owned. It was I remember like it was yesterday. It was one of the best days, one of the best shopping days ever. It was a buy 2, not buy 3. I was buy 2, get 1 free. So I got this, the Carnage Omnibus, and the Wolverine Omnibus all on the same day, and Wolverine I got for free. And they're already on sale. The local comic shop was really good back in the day with having omnibuses, and I still do. I can't say if they do or not because I haven't been there in months. But they would have omnibuses. Like this one I got for like I think like $69.99, and list price is $100 bucks. 125. The list price is $100, which I think this should always be the price for a book for an omnibus that's slightly thinner than your average omnibus. This is 1,136 pages, and that's already $100 for that much book is already a good deal. But I got it for like $30 off, and I got that, the Carnage Omnibus, and then the Wolverine Omnibus for free. And like an idiot, I got some trades after that. I should have gotten at least 4 omnibuses. I didn't have the most money, yeah, but I had 200, sure. But like, I had 200, but I actually can't remember how much I had. I don't have the receipt from way back then. I really should have gone into the habit of keeping all my receipts from like years and years and years, so I could go back to like 2017 and see what I got like January 14th, you know. So there is a version of this omnibus. I got sidetracked. I do a second cut of this video, so I'm trying to remember what I said in the first cut. The reason for why that was because I was showing my phone and my ID was right there, and you couldn't see anything. Like, it was just like part of my name. But then I took it out, and I was like, and I showed it. It's like this. I'll do it with this. It was like, I'll do it. Basically, it was like, oh yeah, I'm checking this out. I was like, stupid. So under dust jacket, you get your normal black and white kind of thing, and a logo on the back. Nothing too special. I most show the artwork at the first page. I don't think. Okay, so it is all. It's not all Steve Dillon, which is crazy. So what this collects? I'll go what it collects first. This one collects Punisher 2000 1 through 12, Punisher Kills the Marvel Universe, Marvel Knights Double Shot issue 1, which I believe is material from that, and then Punisher issues 1 through 7, and it skips 13 37. Now, where do you get the missing issues? Well, there's a trade called Punisher Taxi, I believe it's called. Taxi War, that's what it's called. Punisher Taxi Wars, which collects the missing issues, because that was not written by Garth Ennis. I think they could have clicked it in there. Like, no one would have complained. But that one was a diamond in the rough. When I went to Books A Million for the first time, in Maine, the good one and the bad one I didn't get anything from. I had found that it was already on sale, but it was the exact issues I needed that were missing from the Punisher Omnibus. Like nothing extra. Maybe I think there was a Punisher Marvel Knights double shot was collected in there, but for the most part, it was everything I needed. Nothing that no double dipping. So, and I'll show the artwork for the first page, and then no extras. There's just anything at the end I'll show, but it's all script pages. No like no cool variant covers or whatever. This is the only thing at the end. Oh, there is a variant. Sorry, it's a wizard. Oh, I'm an idiot. There are variants here, but this is the thing I wanted to mention here. That I found kind of cool because it is the Enough Said. It was script pages for Enough Said. Enough Said issues. It was basically no dialogue, all picture. And of course, I say, oh well, then why did the author, writer get credited? And it was some Wizard magazine variants. Well, obviously, they got credited because of the fact that they still had to tell the artist what the story was about. Like, it'd be like Garth Ennis would say to Steve Dillon, like, oh, Punisher is in this warehouse, and he's got to kill all these drug cartel guys, and he's got to kill them before the bomb blows up. That's going to kill his family they were holding hostage, and he has to use a silencer to be silent about his stealth mission. So basically, that's not what that's about. I was just giving a random plot synopsis. Kind of ironic that was exactly the issue too. It'd be crazy. But it was all silent issue. It was no dialogue. It was just all action. And I do wish they would do that more often because of the fact that it does kind of give the reader a break, especially if you're Game of Thrones and you have so much dialogue. I just gave up on the book. You will probably you're gonna get the review before this video comes out. But TLDR for that book, I just gave up on it. It was just way too much dialogue, and it was just. And what was nice about that book was I heard it was a bit sidetracked, but it was a watered down version of the original Game of Thrones book. So it's like, okay, you know what? Glad I agree, even though I haven't read the books. So yeah, go back to Punisher. So I got in this. It was just a perfect day I got it, and I mentioned that, and I mentioned it's a good shopping day that day. I think that's it. And I showed off the. It's parental advisor, by the way. It was not Max. It's not Punisher Max. So I believe it would still be R, but I mean just the violence, and that was about it. I think they still censored the language. I could be wrong, but from what I remember, it was just a lot more harder edge. This was right after they foregoed the Comics Code Authority sticker, so they got to go hard on books or hard edge on books, which honestly. Comics Code Authority, I never agree with it. I hate censorship in any form. I hate censorship. I don't care. Oh, the Batman animated series, we actually showed this, and it was better than showing the violence. Like, yeah, cool, but you still have to censor it. And no, that's one exception. One exception that I will kind of give you. It's stupid. Like, no. And as a kid show, I understand, but it was more just the fact that they could gone it was TV PG. I believe when they went to Fox Kids, TVY7, they cuts and shit. That's why I believe in I hope the Blu-ray version I have is the completely uncensored version, which is the violence mainly. But I just hate that argument, like, oh, you did it here, no, yeah, it's still censorship. It's still being censored, and yeah, of course, like you could argue, well, you get pissed every time you see a censored dialogue in a Marvel book, because God forbid not every Marvel book is completely uncensored, and no, I don't, obviously. I've gotten used to that fact. I just mean more like they couldn't get like the story that they want to get written. It's one thing to censor a few words, there's swear words, where you cut back on the violence a bit, but you still as long as that's what they wanted to do. Because Deadpool is almost always going to be violent parental advisory, so is Punisher, at the very least. So you will still get like the punishment we all deserve. But yeah, it's going to censor the dialogue, the swear words, and everything like that, and some nudity. And I'm okay with, because at least I know I expect that from Mark. But I more mean when they couldn't tell a story because the Comics Code Authority, or they were censored, or like when Disney Plus will censor already uncensored material. And that's not even that bad. If you say uncensored material, I think it's like terrible, but it's like a butt shot from Splash. which is stupid that they did that. But I didn't mention everything I want to mention. I'll show the back here, all the covers. That's about it, I think. Yeah, must be. I'm pretty sure I mentioned everything. I said how I got 3 in one day, and it was like 1 for free, and it was on sale, and it's out of print, unfortunately. But I would say to pay the $161 because that's not too much over $60 over the list price. Maybe find it on eBay for like $100 and you'd be good to go. That's why I said to pay for this book because the odds of Marvel reprinting this book are pretty slim. Although we are getting a Marvel Max reprint, I believe. From what I remember, we are getting a Marvel Max reprint. So probably don't do that then. I just feel like Marvel doesn't like Punisher that much, and enough to give them a reprint of the classic stories. But that, as I say, is that.